So today's case study is all about our experience while managing owner-driven company, mid-level companies, almost 50, 60 years old, and they are into finance related business. So they were facing issues like business was not growing, penetration was also weak, other banks and other organizations was eating market share faster than they could do for the last 40, 50 years. And people were quitting, right? People were a toxic environment, people were quitting, reputation loss happening. A lot of clients started complaining, so the interaction of the clients, frustrations was going up. Ownership issues within the people we saw, and they were also facing in terms of every department's stat was going on, the turnaround time was going very high. So this was the problem when they reached us, and we after did almost 6 months of detailed research, working with the people, working with the value chain, working with the sales team, marketing, operations, and everybody in the system. When we worked through all the value chain, we identified almost 5 or 6 main common problem which we saw in other organizations. Number one is that there's a training gap. So there is a training, when I say training gap, almost 40, 50 years the company was running, there was no dedicated budget for training. There were people when they were trained, people were upgraded because of how old they are, not because how much of skill or will they have. Coachability was an also issue. Most of the people who are older were difficult to coach them. They were against learning new things. So that's obviously thing happened in older organization. Next is outdated machines. The infrastructures machines were absolutely outdated. As old as after sending mail you have to wait for 2 minutes to see the mail is going, like that. So such a it was not a good shape, and no one complained because everybody is afraid of the system, and they were okay with whatever it is, which gives them a backfire. It was a, and as a reason the growth was gradually going down and down and down. So the 60 years old business was also we saw rather like software missing. Everything was also on Excel and PowerPoint and Word document. So data visualization was not happening, data analyzing was not happening. There was no person dedicated for figuring out data. Research was also not there. Process was also never audited. So on and so forth. So when we did all these things, we also see one more thing is that digitally they were also weak. In the digital team was also run by kids. What happens just to save money? You don't give the work to the agency who are qualified enough to run your digital business. You try to do it yourself or with kids around you. So what happened? They are not educated enough to take bigger shots. So randomly, abusing the digital assets. So there was no funnel, there was no content process, there was no content funnel or bucketing, landing pages, website, everything was not in order. So this is what we observe. And this last one is the business excellence was missing, and obviously that's the reason the owners were quite, quite perturbed by why we were growing at a faster rate when we started business. Now it is why it has gone down. Is it just because the bigger banks are more stronger in terms of brand building? One more common thing which we saw all these 40, 50 years when they're running business, they never build the brand. They only focused on running business and getting sales and revenue and so on and so forth. So if you don't build the brand, it hits you in the long term. Initially, when there was less competition, in a small market, you grow faster. But when the bigger brands come, the brand resonate with trust. So when the trust level goes up, the customer relationship, the branding, visibility, all those things impact the business immediately, and that was the biggest gap we saw. So the solution we came to them. First, we started investing in marketing on the branding part. Then we started looking at data and bucket those data into different sections, and analyzing those data, giving the owners and the business stakeholder what decision they should take based on data and not on whimsical opinion or whatever they have individually on specific people who are older in the system. And the main stakeholders were also trained, because when you have if you don't have a right filter, if you don't see how things have changed around you, because customer is presently is changing faster than the organization. So if you have to make sure that your customers are happy, your customers are served well, your customers get benefit out of they understand your value. It can only happen when you are run by upgraded, skilled people who are doing this job. So what was your success? I mean, you can't be it's like you're still basking in the old glory. So those things will not help. So this is what we did, and also we did an entire roadmap for resource planning, training people, putting them into different buckets of will skill gap, and we train them. This sort of people need this sort of training. It's not a mass training level thing, right? And also there was a tracker system and a dashboard which was helping them to track their own KRA, and everything ROI and KRA all are linked with mission vision, so that everybody understand what this company stands for, what is my contribution to the main goal, what is it that I am doing that will impact the company's revenue. So such line of sight, if it is not clear, then how hard you try, it will be have a difficult time. So that was the conclusion we did with them, and they have benefited. And that's the good positive case study I thought I should share with you. I hope it will help all the rest of the founders or owners or business owner who are listening to this video and podcast. So I hope it helps. Thank you.